Okay, let me share my screen. Welcome to the session, guys. So in this session, I'm going to deliver what is the database, what exactly the meaning of the database, and what are all the prerequisites. As a DBA, if you want to start learning Oracle DBA, what are all the prerequisites we required? And also roles and responsibilities as a DBA. And some of the common tasks. Okay, as a DBA, what are all the tasks we need to perform? Those will conclude like we will discuss about those also in roles and responsibilities, but we will talk about the common tasks. Also, tools required. What are all the tools as a DBA we required? Okay, and the differences between the Oracle DBA and Rag DBA. These we will discuss in this session. Also, if time allows us, we can proceed with Oracle database architecture. The previous one, non-multi-tenant and multi-tenant kind of one. We will discuss everything one by one. So first, what is Oracle database? It's a Oracle database is the collection of related informations which stores in a specific place. That place we call it as a database. And also we simply say that organizations, whatever all the data they are, for each and every organizations, they require the data. Okay, data is important for the organizations. Whatever they are going to purchase, whatever they are going to sell it, everything they need to record it in one single place. Also, that data, as and when they require for reporting purpose or any auditing purpose, they need to retrieve. Okay, for that, they require a database. That process we call it as a database. Okay, simply data is the collection of related information stored in a particular place, or as and when it is required, we should access without any issues. Okay, for that we have n number of databases. Okay, in a market, we have n number of more than 500 databases is there. But why we need to choose Oracle database? Oracle database is a huge market, like more than 70 to 80% organizations are using only Oracle database. More than 70 to 80%, 70 to 80% organizations are using Oracle database. It is a licensed product. Okay, it is a licensed product. It is not an open source, it's a licensed. But we have huge support from the Oracle. Why 70 to 80% people are using Oracle database compared to other databases? Remaining 30 to 20%, if you're having more than 500 databases, they are using those databases. Some of them is open source databases is there. Okay, Postgres is there. It is an open source database. And MS SQL is there. It is a licensed one. Also, MySQL is there. Okay, another MySQL. MySQL is the database. MySQL, it is also Oracle product. It is an open source. Okay, MS SQL is there. It is a Microsoft product, Microsoft database. So MS SQL is a Microsoft one. It is a licensed one. MySQL is the Oracle one. It's the open source. Okay, Oracle DB is a Oracle corporation providing this database service. It is a licensed product. And also we have n number of Postgres. Okay, MongoDB is there. And IBM DB2, IBM DB2. This is one database which is provided by the IBM. Postgres, it's an open source. So we are not talking about all these databases. All these databases are used, some of the environments, some of the organizations. Still, Oracle is the #1 databases in the globe. Why? Because they are providing huge security, huge user support, user-friendly, and it will support large environments. It's if you want to store more than terabytes, like 30 terabytes, 50 terabytes, this database will be support. The software will be support such kind of huge organization data. Okay. Oracle database is a robust object relational database. It's a relational database, RDBMS. Okay, relational database management system. RDBMS means relational database management system. This MySQL also relational, IBM DB2 also relational database, but Oracle also it's a relational database. Why we call it as a relational database? Earlier phase, when Oracle has introduced in 1970s, Oracle has been introduced this database. At that time, we don't have a relational database. At that time, only DBMS only, database management system. Later on, this software has been modified and then updated as a relational. R means relational. DBMS. It should support 13 rules, that is ECOD or ECOFOD rules. Let me tell you that. What is that? Edgar F. Code. Okay. EDGER. Edgar F. CODD. This person has introduced this relational model. What exactly this relational model means? So the database should be having unique information, and the information there could be some rules, and also it should not duplicate values, and distribution independency, integrity, logical data, non-subversion. It is not required for you also all this recalling and all, but somebody will ask you what exactly the relational database and non-relational database. Relational database means it should support 13 rules, okay, which given by this person, Edgar F. Code, okay. Data integrity, data duplication, all those information it should support. Then only we call it as RDBMS. Okay, Oracle database is an RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Okay, it is developed by Oracle Corporation. Oracle Corporation. Oracle Corporation has been developed or introduced this Oracle database software. Okay, then what exactly the Oracle database will support? It will give you the huge performance. If you have a terabytes, 1 terabyte, 10 terabyte, 30 terabytes data, the database software will support you and it will give you the best performance. And also it will protect the users. Unwanted users outside of that organization, people doesn't connect, they don't have any access to connect, or hackers, they are trying to hack the systems online. Okay, those kind of security Oracle software will provide you. Okay, Oracle will release every quarterly security patches, and the CPU and RU release update patches and all. Quarter means every 3 months. Okay, those if you are applying the patches, you will be save your database on the vulnerabilities or any hackings. We can save it. Unauthorized access, those who are access to the database, they can access the database. Unauthorized or outside organization people doesn't have the access, they will not connect. Enabling the fast failure recoveries, as and when if any database is crashed. Oracle has been introduced couple of tools like Data Guard, Golden Gate. We can using those tools and rack instances and all. We can use those tools or those features. Our database we can restore very fastly. Okay. Compared to other databases, as I said, MySQL, MS SQL, Postgres, Mongo, IBM DB2, and other things, Oracle is giving so many flexibility, security. End of the day, as an organization, we need our data security, right? That, and also user friendly. Anyone doesn't know the knowledge about the Oracle database, they should able to access the database with the instructions. So such kind of user-friendly, this Oracle has been provided. That is where Oracle database is the #1 database in the world as part of that use cases. Okay. Also, if you are using Oracle databases, you have some issues, you will get the support. support.oracle.com is a site where you will get, once you purchased your license for this Oracle software, they will give you one CSI number. Okay, using this number, you can create a service request with the Oracle team to support you as and when any issues happen in your database. They will support you. Apart from this, we have n number of blocks related to Oracle database issues, Oracle database knowledge. Also, we have communities, Oracle communities. There also you can post your query. Oracle community is a huge, it's a lakhs of people are there in this community. As and when you require any support, you just post that query in that community. You just register that community and then you can post it. You will get support. Okay. Other databases, you doesn't have this much community people and also this much blocks, this much information you don't have as well. Okay, because we are using huge number of people and we are having huge number of support as well. So Oracle has been latest version, which is long term. It's a 19C database version until 2032. We have the support from the Oracle. This is a long term support, and also we have 21C version is there, 21C and 23C as well. C means cloud. Okay, we will talk about the versions and all later as well as part of that architecture, as and when we are going to cover. Okay, as of now, Oracle 19C and 21C and 23C. Okay, Oracle 19C database version. It is a long-term support. 2030 is there again. They have extended 2 years valid support. As per my knowledge, it will be support till 2030 or 2032. So another 8 to 9 years, this is the version all organizations is going to use. And in couple of months or couple of days, Oracle will release these two versions for live as well. As of now, they have released these versions for development purpose, 21C and 23C. But they will provide the live for like any organizations, they can use this 21C and 23C main database versions. Okay, as of now 19C only, the long period support version. We will design the course for 19C as well, 19C only, and also we will compare the previous versions 12C and other 11G databases. What exactly mean by the G and 11G? G means grid and then C means cloud. Okay, we will discuss those things as well. That is all about the Oracle database and why we need to learn Oracle DBA. Means we have huge support from the Oracle support side and also some of the blogs and communities which we have in the global level. Okay, I'll show you the one. Here it is my blog, social media channel, Rags Infotech. Here also I'm going to share the knowledge related to the Oracle DBA, Apps DBA, and all Oracle related database administration training sessions. If you want to learn more about these things, you can go through this playlist and then you can Oracle DBA knowledge, Apps DBA trainings and cloud knowledge. So it just started few days back. I'll keep on update this thing and then you can go through it. Also, this is my blog where I last 8 years I'm writing this blog. Okay, so my blog is achieved under top 60 place. I mentioned 60, but it is in 50th place. Now my blog is throughout the globe. It recognized as a 50th place. So you can go through my blog as well for everything. Like I used to mention 11i and R12 is application DB concepts, 12C DB, 18C DB, 19C, and our trainings. As and when I'm going to update the trainings, the training details will be updated here, 19CR DBA thing. And data guard concepts, Linux commands, Oracle Cloud things, WebLogic, Fusion middleware, and supercluster servers, single sign-on, so everything, shell scripting, everything I'm updating here. So past 2015 onwards, I'm updating my blog. So similar way, so many people are writing the blogs related to the Oracle knowledge. As and when if you want to learn, you can learn from the these things as well. Okay. Okay, then we'll come to our prerequisites for DBA training. Prerequisites are you have to have learned basic Linux commands. I'll discuss those today. Okay, what are the basic commands we required, and also basic SQLs. SQL means this database is designed with the language of the Java code and also SQL and PSQL languages. We should learn about the basic SQLs to interact with our database. To store your database, we need to use SQL commands. To retrieve the data, we need to use SQL commands. For that, and also if you want to modify the data inside of your database, we need the SQL knowledge, SQL query, basic SQL query knowledge. We don't need to write any extra queries and all. We just understand what exactly this SQL query mean and all. Okay, and then basic Linux commands. Why we need to learn this Linux? We are learning Oracle DBA, right? Why we need to learn this basic Linux commands? I'll tell you that as well. Basic Linux commands will help you to understand or communicate your database on the server where you have installed. Okay, we have installed our database on Linux machine, on Linux operating system. So if you want to access this database from the server, we need to know some of the commands, Linux commands. So that is also one basic thing. It is also very easy. We don't have much commands. 20 to 30 commands will be there. I'll go through this in this session. And then next session, I'll go to the basic SQLs which we required as a DBA. Those also I'll cover it. That's it, nothing much. Even if you don't have this knowledge, you directly register this Oracle DBA training, and that training itself, initial phase itself, we will teach those things and then we will proceed. Okay, and then you need to practice a lot as part of the DBA, right? To learning the theoretical part is not sufficient as part of a DBA roles and responsibilities or DBA skill set. You have to do a lot of practice. Okay, for that you need 8 GB RAM system and also 500 GB storage. 100 GB also it is sufficient. If we have 200 GB, 400 GB also fine. If you have a 500 GB storage, you can store you can create n number of databases, 3-4 databases, and you can drop it, you can recreate it. You can do all the practices. Also, if you want to install the rack, at least you required 100 to 150 GB. Each node you required 70 GB for rack installation, 2-node rack. If you want to keep 3-node rack, you required another like 200 GB or 220 GB. So recommended to have 500 GB. If you don't have this also, you can keep at least 200 GB is fine for this database things. On your laptop or PC, we will support you how to install. If you are unable to install, we will help you to install this database software on your machine. You can practice from the day 5 onwards. Till day 5 of this training, you can learn what exactly the database architecture it is. And also you can learn basics of the Linux commands. And also you can learn what is the SQL structures and all. And what are all the tools we are going to use as part of this training. I'll tell you those in the next few slides. Okay. This is the requirement for the lab. And this thing is DBA roles and responsibilities. As a DBA, what is our exact role? If you know the role, you can perform all the tasks without any interruptions, right? Without any questions. So as a DBA, we should monitor our database health daily. And also we have to monitor our database health checks. Let me increase this font. Okay. Okay, as a DBA, we should monitor database health. Health means whether the database is up and running or it is down. Is there any warnings? Is there any errors? We have to monitor that on daily basis. Also, we need to check on daily basis all the backups are completed successfully or not. We have a log file location where our backups has been scheduled that we need to monitor. And also we need to make a confirmation backups are completed successfully. If any issues happen, we need to monitor again, or if you know, you can reinitiate the backup script outside of your business hours. If it is an urgency, then you can go ahead and initiate the backup on business hours also. Why? Because backup is more important than anything else. If you don't have a backup, suddenly the database is dropped or the database is down or it's corrupted. How we can restore that? By using the backup only. That is where backups are very, very important in our DBA perspective. As a DBA, we should take care of this. And also we have to monitor these things. We can monitor using third-party tools, or this OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager, is a tool. It is also licensed one, but some organizations, as per their licensing, ULA license and other things will be there. According to that, they will get free of cost also. But the communication in between the client and the organization, it depends. Okay. OEM is a tool to monitor your databases. Not only databases, we can monitor other third-party applications as well. WebLogic also we can monitor. Oracle Apps DBA also we can monitor. Application also we can monitor using OEM. OBI related things also we can monitor. So this tool they can develop on daily basis, and they are introducing new functionalities. Most of the things are monitored using by this OEM only, Oracle Enterprise Monitor. This latest version is 13C version for this OEM software. It's a high-end software, like more than 6 GB software. Compared to the database we are having less than like 3 GB size of the database software. But OEM we are having double to your database size. Software, I'm talking about a software level. If you want to download, you have to download 5 to 6 files and then you need to install. Okay. This is also separate tool there we can use, and I'll show you how to install OEM and all. I may going to create one workshop for this as well, free workshop for OEM installation. Okay. And also shell scripts. By using these shell scripts also we can monitor. We have to create a shell script, whatever the regular job we are going to do, those we can write in a shell script, and then we can schedule on a daily basis in a cron job. Okay, in that way also, if you don't have OEM, you can use the shell script to monitor your databases. Also, or else, if you don't have a shell script, if you don't have an OEM tool, you can do manually. But manually, it will take time. That's okay. If you don't have anything, what is another approach? We have only one thing, manually, we have to do it. This is our main job. And then as a DBA, we need to monitor, manage all this user management. User management means if you have created the database, you have to provide the access to the users to use the database, right? If we have a number of users in our organizations, whatever the tasks they are performing in the organization, the tasks or that information need to store in a specific place. The place is our database only. If how they are going to use the database to access or to store their data, how? We need to create that users in our database. Then only they can access that. Okay, for that we need to create a users, and then we need to provide certain kind of privileges to them, whether they need to read only a privilege or they need read write privilege. Read only means they just read the information, that's it. They don't have any right to update or insert or delete anything. They don't have any privileges. Okay, such kind of users we call it is read only. If we are providing read write means they can select the information, means they can read the data, they can write the data to database. That we'll talk about the specific separate lesson also we have, that I'll tell you. And release activities. Release activities are nothing but we used to apply the every quarterly CPU patches. And also we need to reset the passwords of admin accounts. System is our admin users. And other any, if you are using OEM, you might have DBMS, that one. Okay, I'll tell you later on as well. That admin user will be there. Okay, that all admin user passwords we need to reset on every 3 months. That activity we call it as a release activity. And patching the database home and grid infrastructure. If you are using Oracle database, you can apply the patches on Oracle home by using OPatch utility. What exactly meaning by this patch? Okay, those we will talk about one lesson, separate lesson, but it is our duty to apply the patches and on regular basis on our databases. And grid infrastructure for cluster. Okay, if you are using Rag environment, you have to apply the patches on grid infra as well. As part of the database home also, you need to apply. There are separate patches will be there for database home and grid home. And the cloning. What exactly mean by the clone? Okay, how we are going to perform the clone activity. Clone is identical copy of your production environment. As and when any issues happen in your production environment, we will not apply the fix up directly on the production. We need to clone this production environment to another server. Similar to architecture should be similar, okay, to your production environment. And then the data we will copy from the production to non-production. That process we call it as a clone. That we will talk about how we are going to perform a clone, how many types of clones we have, how we are going to perform a clone in non-multi-tenant and multi-tenant. Okay, support the DR activities, disaster recovery activities, data guard will be there. Okay, how we are going to perform that switch over and failover things. That is also our roles and responsibilities. In this training, we are going to show you how to configure data guard. Okay, we will create one primary and this primary database and my standby database. In between, I'll create the DZ, data guard configuration. Okay, that also I'll show you that. Database fresh installation. What are all the versions which we are coming up? As of now, some of the organizations are using till 12c database. So that's 12c database support has been ended. They have to have move their 12c database to 19c. Okay, or 12c higher versions. So 19c is the best option for longer support, longer period support. So that is our job only. As a DBA, we need to upgrade that. And also, while upgradation process, you need to install the software of the 19c. Okay. Not only that, as and when if you need to install a new database software, that is also as a DBA task. We need to install our databases and all. These are all the high level of roles and responsibilities. Apart from this, as a DBA, we need to monitor application users, creating the application users, everything. Table space management will be there. Daily we need to this okay, I already mentioned here. Table space management is once you created a user, we have to assign some storage as well, right? Without the storage, where the data will be stored on database, we need to restrict the users. Do not use huge number of data. Suppose you have created 10 users, 10 users, each user is storing 1 GB, 1 GB means that is fine. If each user is trying to use 500 GB, 500 GB means that is difficult, right? So if it is required, definitely we have to provide, but 500 GB is a huge. If they are going to upload unwanted data or unrelated data, that will impact our database, right? So we have to manage the table space as well. Table space is a storage level one. Okay, it's a logical naming thing, but physically we call it as a storage. How we are going to manage that storage also we will discuss in a separate lesson. Okay, till now you have any doubts or anything? I'm ready to take as well. So common DBA task which we talk about the roles and responsibilities also. Same, installing the softwares, creating the databases, upgrading the softwares, start up and shut down the databases. Okay, managing the storage like table spaces, as I said, right? Those user accounts and creating this, managing the schema objects means these objects as and when the developers are doing some changes, if any one of that object is going to invalid, we will, I'll clearly explain this as well as part of this architecture. Architecture itself, 3 to 4 sessions I'll take, and then I'll clearly explain. If you know the architecture, you can easily learn rest of the topics. If you are understanding the Oracle database architecture clearly, 30 to 40% of your job is done. Remaining 70 to 60%, you can learn rest of the sessions. Remaining all the sessions you will learn 60 to 70%. But architecture is a very, very important for as a DBA to proceed further topics. I'll clearly explain what exactly meaning by these objects. And if any object is going to invalid means it is not usable. How we are making that object become valid? How we are going to make that invalid object to valid? Even if you are trying to make that invalid to valid, you have to work with supporting. That also I clearly discuss. Okay, then backups and recovery, performance tuning, those we will discuss as well. Proactively we need to monitor, that is one thing. Okay, all these are all the common tasks. Okay, what are all the tools as part of DBA we need as a DBA? What are all the tools we required? We need a putty to connect to the servers, and also we need a WinSCP. WinSCP is the tool where if you want to copy the data from WinSCP, if this is my local machine, right? If I want to copy data, let me start one instance, and then I'll show you that as well. Okay, if I want to copy the data from my local machine, this is my local machine where I am going to present my session. Okay, to this instance, this is the remote desktop where I have installed my database. The data which I have in a local machine, if I want to copy to this machine, I need a tool. That tool we call it as a WinSCP, Windows Secure Copy, or Windows server copy. Also somebody will say that secure copy also we can say it. WinSCP is the tool where we can utilize this tool to copy data from local machine to server. From server to local machine we can copy. I'll show you that as well. And SQL developer are Toad. Toad is a licensed tool, and SQL developer is an open source. You can download from the Google and then you can use this one. Compared to SQL developer, Toad is having some extra functionalities and features, but it is a licensed one. So most of the organization people are using SQL developer. Some of the organizations, even though it is licensed one, they can use this thing. Okay, SQL developer is a GUI tool where whatever the tasks we are going to performing in the putty, it is a backend. Okay, it is not a GUI command line thing. But the same commands and same things we can use from the SQL developer. That it is a GUI mode only. It is not command line. I'll show you that also, how to connect this SQL developer. I have this SQL developer tool and I'll show you how to connect to that and how we are going to work on that SQL developer tool. And we might have another also, remote desktop will be there, VNC viewer will be there. Those are all separate. And also we have mobile XTERM also there. Instead of VNC, you can use VNC. It's that is useful only as and when if you want to run more than 1 hour job or 4 hours job, 8 hours job is running. At that time, if you are going to initiate in your local machine like Putty or this thing, mobile extra, is there any network issues happen on your local server or local machine, that session will be closed. But if you are using VNC, this is a directly open your session in the data center level. Okay, you can initiate it and then you can start 8 long hour jobs. Once that is done, you can come out of this VNC as well. Okay, that is also one tool. But here we are not using this VNC viewer. Those are all the tools. Okay, let me come to, it's a big thing. I got lot of questions on this as well. In previous also, in one-on-one also, I received the questions. What exactly the difference between Oracle DBA and Rag DBA? Okay, what is mean by this Oracle DBA means it's Oracle database where we are going to install. This is my database. Okay, if I can say, if I want to install this database, I need a server. Okay, on top of this server, in this server is using software operating system. Without this operating system, this database we cannot install. Even we cannot communicate also. To communicate other applications or anything, we need an operating system. Okay, that operating system we can install anything, Linux, Windows, anything you can install. But in our case, we are installing Linux operating system. On top of this operating system, we are going to install our RDBMS software, relational database software. Okay, relational database software. Here we are going to create our database. Okay, here we are going to install the database on top of this software. Or else, if you want to access this database, we'll clearly explain that as part of the architecture, what exactly meaning by this. If you want to install this software, database is not a software. It is just a data. Okay, it is not a software. Software is this one. Oracle software is a RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. If it is installed, then only we can create this database. If you want to shut down and start up, this software we need to start and stop. If you want to apply the patches, you are going to apply the patches on this software, not on the data. Database is contain only the data, as we discussed in the first session or first slide. Oracle database is the data related information. Only data we are not going to apply the patches. We are applying the patches on the software. That is RDBMS software. Okay. This is standalone, single node database. Single node means one server, one database I have installed, one instance, one database. But in case of Rag, we need at least two databases or two nodes we required. Operating system also, two different nodes. I'll show you that as well. This is rack 1, one node, and this is rack 2. This is another node. I have two machines, two servers I have. This is my standalone database. Standalone means one server, one database I have installed. Okay, for rack we need two servers. This is one server and this is one server. I installed one server, rack 1 database. I have installed one more is rack 2 database. Similar way, I'll show you here. This is my rack 1, R1. This is rack 2. Two different servers. Here also we need to install operating system. That is same as Linux, same version, Linux. And also here I need to install the software, RDBMS software, RDBMS. The same software, 19C software, I need to install here and here. Okay, if you install 18C here, if you are installing 19C here, we should not communicate this one. If you want to install a rack instance, you have to use the same database versions, same operating system. Okay, here I'm not going to install the database. Database placed in a single server or single place, mostly this is shared path, SHARED. Sharedly we will keep our database. This we can use or access from this instance. From this instance also we can use this database. This is instance number 1 and this is instance number 2. So this is called rack environment. So in this environment, how we are going to access? Why we need this? High availability purpose, we need a rack, real application cluster. If you are going to maintain n number of, at least one node is required, extra 2 node is required to configure your rack. Okay, if we are having 10 node means we are creating a similar one, database and operating system, database and operating systems, node 3, node 4. This also accessing this database only. There is no other database. This system also accessing this database only. Why we need this? High availability, performance, best performance. Suppose you have 100 users. 100 users are there, you don't have a rack. Forget about all these instances. Only you have this instance. 100 users trying to access database using this instance only. This instance, 100 users are trying to access this. You can assume how much performance it will be take. Normally, 100 users, 100 MB RAM will be taken care. But if you have a rack instance, this 100 users will distribute it to all these 4 nodes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 25 users will connect it from this instance and 25 users will access from this instance. 25 users will be accessed from this. 25 users will be accessed from this instance. So if 100 users are accessing from one node, how much memory it will take, how much performance, we can assume that. And same 100 users are accessing from 4 different servers, the performance will be huge, right? And another important thing, you are using standalone database, it's a normal Oracle database. If the database, this software is corrupted or it is down, instance is down, so users cannot able to access database. Definitely we have a downtime. Database is not able to access. In case of rack, if one instance is down, we have another 3 instances to access the users, the database. So that is called high availability. So how we are going to create this environment and how we are going to maintain this environment, how we are going to patch this environment, rack environment, we dealt with Oracle Rag DBA training. Only standalone databases without high availability. High availability we can make with the data guard also, but it is not that much high availability compared to Rag. Rag is having huge high availability and also huge performance. Data guard is just for the protection of the data. It is not the purpose of the Rag, how it is works. Both are different. Okay, how we are going to access the database? So Rag, if you are using the Rag, license cost is heavy, and if you are using standalone databases, license cost is less compared to the Rag. Mostly 1/3 cost will be there. Like you are spending $1,000 for this license. it could be $3,000 rack license. I'm just giving the example. It is not in a live, it is a different to different organizations. The relation between the Oracle Corporation and the vendors, those who are using their products, they will give that according to their customer relationships. License cost will be vary. There is no standard cost for this. Okay, if one customer is using only 4 or 5 databases softwares, they will get some discounts and all. They will get something. If customer using more than 100 software licenses from the Oracle, they will get different license cost, right? Same thing. If you purchase one item from any one of that Flipkart or Amazon things, you will get only normal 1% or 2% discounts. If you are same or different items you are purchasing from the vendors or the same platform, they will give you 5% or 10% discount. It depends, right? Same way, licensing cost also will be vary from the client to client and customer to customer with the relation. Okay, this is our rack architecture. We will discuss clear-cutly. This is single node DB means this one. Only one database is having one instance. Instance means software which we install. SID will be there, and one database. Multi-node means in server, one server, we will install the software, and the database we will put in a shared location, and we will install other database servers as well. So multi-nodes, multiple instances, single database. Single database is used by multiple instances, multiple servers. We call it as multi-node. That is rack environment. Hope you got the answer, Venkat.
Yeah, but what is the point of just going with two different things, right? Because we don't drive, whether it will be a DBA versus Rag DBA when you go to a client place.
No, the way we are going to maintain performance will mean generally if you are using standalone database, the performance will be different. As a core, as a normal DBA, core DBA, we can manage this one. If you know the rack, how to install from 9i onwards, we have a rack introduced. Before 9i, we don't have a rack concept. So this is a new feature which is given by the Oracle. For this, it's a heavily maintained. I'll show you that as well. For normal database, we need to install the Linux operating system and the database.
So I understood that actually. So my main question is like, I'm just looking for the DBA along with Rack, right? So that's one course I'm looking for. But the challenge is with your schedule, right? I can't take Rack because I think one of them is in the. So I'm just trying to look at like one course if you have any. That's what I'm mainly focused on for both of them together.
Yeah, we do have like in this batch I proposed for Oracle DBA with Rack. If somebody registered for Oracle DBA and someone has been registered for Rack, or few of them will register for both core and Rack, C plus R. Okay, I'll deal this batch with that way. If core DBA topics are there, user management will be there, table space management will be there, and other topics, patching and all will be there. Those we can deal as part of the registrations. If you are registered for both, right, I'll show you how to apply the patches on the database. Also, I'll show you extra grid. Okay, grid infrastructure for Rack. That also. Those who register for Oracle DBA, they will not allow to learn these things.
Understood, but the timings, is it the same time or because I see one in the morning?
Same timings. I'll manage that one in this batch.
Okay.
Yeah, most of them has been joined as a core, both the things. So we can manage this thing. Only rarely people are joining for core only. That is also we can manage it. That is not an issue. Only variations we will get patching, cloning, and installation part. These three will be deferred.
Okay.
For core and Rag DBA. And startup shutdowns will be there. That also I'll include this core DBA registration members to at least they can learn something on this part. One session I'll add them, and rest of the things, these things will be specifically for Rack. Those who register for the Rack, they will get this information. Okay, Patching is the main thing, and the cloning also very important for Rag DBAs. How we are going to do multi-node clone. Standalone clone, normally in core DBAs we can do it. Rag is bit different, so that is one thing. Apart from this, rest of the topics, data guard configuration, and rack also we can do the data guard configuration. But here I am going to show you standalone data guard configuration. Only the variation is patching, how we are going to apply the grid patch or a clone patch. Okay, and then how we are going to do the cloning and installation parts. Upgrade steps and all, it's normal thing. Okay. Same timings will be there for core and rack.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for today, this allows us to close this call, but I'll take a questions if you have anything. These are all the basic things which we are going to start up. And the next session, I'm going to show you the architecture part of non-multi-tenant and non-multi-tenant and multi-tenant architectures. I'll go and then show you the directly from the server. So from here, I'm going to show you the differences between the multi-tenant and non-multi-tenant. Also, as I said, we have installed this database and which operating system. It's a Linux operating system. This is a Linux command. Okay. How we are going to, this is a ls is one command, pwd is a command, dff and kh is a Linux command. So I'll show you these commands in the next session. After finishing of this, I'll take 5 to 10 minutes to explain the basic SQLs and all. Then we can proceed with this architecture thing. Okay, all these things we can discuss. What is the container of non-container things? What is the benefits of non-container? I mean, challenges of non-container and the benefits of container database or multi-tenant database. Those we will discuss. You know, next session tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. IST. So this I'm going to stop the recording.